What's going on, guys? The Crypto Lark here. Today we're going to be doing our Bitcoin news roundup, covering all of the latest in Bitcoin land. Before we get into that, quick shout out as always to everyone who has been hitting that like button, and of course a massive thank you to all of the subscribers. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit that button down below to stay up to date with all of the latest in the crypto space. Furthermore, this is of course not professional financial advice. This is just a dude talking about cryptocurrencies on the internet. Let's get into it. Bitcoin, $13,390. No change. Good price for it to be at. Of course, market cap has come down quite significantly since the recent all-time highs of near $20,000. And of course, over in Korea, people were paying well over $20,000 during that time. Now, the market dominance of Bitcoin has fallen significantly. If you look back here at the start of the year, we had an 85% market dominance. We did reach an all-time low the other day of 32% market dominance. Ethereum, of course, coming up massively, along with a smattering of other projects. Very interesting times. Obviously, there are so many other cryptocurrencies out there that are very institutional to the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem. For example, Ethereum, and the majority of projects are built on Ethereum, not to mention all the other platforms which are up and coming. Recent network problems with Bitcoin have done nothing to help it move forward, but of course, hopefully we'll be seeing those upgrades coming in pretty soon. It is that forking time again, my friends. There are so many Bitcoin forks coming up, you can't even keep track of them anymore. It seems everybody and their uncle is doing a Bitcoin fork these days, and you know, if you're a forker out there and you want to do some forking, well, Bitcoin is your forking choice. So you guys can have fun with that should you like to do your own Bitcoin fork. It seems like everybody's doing it these days. So we have World Bitcoin coming up pretty soon, and we have Candy Bitcoin. Wow, great. Now this is only for Bitcoin Cash, actually, so this is a Bitcoin Cash fork. We Candy Bitcoin, Bitcoin Candy. Holy cow. And this is of course just a smattering of the list of Bitcoin forks which are up and coming. It'll be hard to even keep track of them at a soon point. Bitcoin Private is on the way. Now this is interesting and worth noting because this is not actually a fork off of Bitcoin, but a fork off of Z Classic. So this will be a private version of Bitcoin. Lots of asterisks there, guys. But it is forking season, so let the forking begin. Over in South Africa, South Africans emerge as the most active in Googling Bitcoin. That's very interesting. So many use cases, of course, for Bitcoin. South Africans have also been not only Googling Bitcoin, but doing everything in their power to get a hold of Bitcoin, including selling high-ticket items that they own. For example, cars, bikes, anything that's not nailed down. Sell it all and buy Bitcoin, guys. Holy cow, South Africans are onto it. They know what's going on. South African Business School is now accepting Bitcoin. This, of course, we can add to the long list of schools which have decided to accept Bitcoin. So that is pretty cool to see. This here is a few statements by the CEO over at BitPesa. She makes the case that actually Bitcoin and the issues that Bitcoin have with network fees and slow transactions, etc., are very minor compared to Africa's banking infrastructure. Now, I wholeheartedly agree with her. And it's not just Africa, it's a lot of other places too. A lot of use cases in Asia, for example, maybe Eastern Europe, for example, as well. Now, if you live in a Western country, whether it be New Zealand or Australia, the United States, Canada, UK, whatever, you see the issues that Bitcoin has, you say, well, it's kind of easier to use a credit card, or, you know, to send money from my bank to another bank. It's pretty easy. That infrastructure doesn't exist everywhere. For a lot of countries, there are capital controls, all these different things going on that actually make Bitcoin incredibly attractive to these people. Now, of course, it's not just Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin does have that name recognition, but there are a lot of other cryptocurrencies which may help them solve their issues. Of course, Stellar has been quite active in Africa recently as well, working with international remittances there. Interestingly, Goldman Sachs agrees with the CEO over at BitPesa that yes, Bitcoin may offer a good solution for sub-Saharan Africa. Unfortunately, the Mufti of Egypt does not agree. He says that Bitcoin is forbidden in Islam. Fascinating. Where do they get this from? I mean, really. Anyway, speaking of other outdated organizations, banks. The Bank of America division bans Bitcoin investments. Now, this is a story that came before Capital One's story just a couple of days ago, which I covered, where Capital One is banning anyone from using their bank to buy Bitcoin off of exchanges. Hopefully we don't see this as a continuing trend with banks banning regular people from being able to buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Remember, this is for your safety. They want to protect you. That's why all these financial institutions are regularly fined and found to be doing massive fraud against their customers and doing dirty deals with the worst players on the planet. It's not Bitcoin's fault, it's the banks. Bitcoin investors are also banned from using their mega profits, seconds, to buy houses amid money laundering fears. Again, more rubbish, anti-Bitcoining. What are you going to do? We're going to keep seeing this. Hopefully Bitcoin stays strong. South Korea, of course, added a nice pinch of panic for the world this week as they've gone back and forth on the status of cryptocurrency trading within the country. Interestingly, in reaction to that, the president's approval rating has gone down because South Koreans are crypto crazy, guys. The president seems not to get that. Or he's trying to buy the dip. He's trying to buy the dip. I know it. I know it. Over in China, China is trying harder and harder to get Bitcoin out. Now, in reaction to China's initial crackdown on cryptocurrencies, what happened is a flourishing back alley market of people doing cross-counter trades in dark alleys using Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. It didn't stop. They can't stop it, but they are trying very hard to crack down on everything Bitcoin related. Now, Bitmain, the world's biggest producer of ASIC miners, seems to see the writings on the wall in China, and they're looking at moving out, essentially. They're eyeing up Canada for Bitcoin mining expansion. Now, we've talked about this quite a few times, actually. Quebec does have a lot of potential for Bitcoin mining. It's cool a lot of the year. It's got a lot of hydroelectric potential, a lot of extra energy being produced in Quebec. So I'm not surprised to see so many Bitcoin mining operations looking to expand to there. They have also set up a branch in Zug, Switzerland. Of course, Zug is Crypto Valley over in Switzerland. So again, Bitmain is looking to get their feet in some other markets. Kodak is getting into Bitcoin mining. This excited almost no one, although the shares of Kodak surged about 90% on the news of this. Now, Kodak, A, was having an ICO, but then B, they said, hey, by the way, we're going to do Bitcoin mining too. And basically, to the mockery of the internet, did this happen. They basically slapped their sticker on somebody else's Bitcoin mining machines, and as it appears, anyway. And basically, you will get the Bitcoin miner, and have like a 2-year contract and they get to keep half the Bitcoin, and it's just, it was a very shoddy idea put together at a last minute kind of thing. No one's really excited about Kodak Bitcoin mining, except maybe the guys at Kodak. So, you know, Bitcoin can be used as a gimmick to promote your business, and a lot of people are. Blockchain can be used as a gimmick to promote your business, and a lot of people are. Keep your eyes open, guys. One small town in Washington State is being flooded by Bitcoin miners. Low electricity costs in Wenatchee, Washington, coupled with, of course, cool temperatures, just like in Quebec, have been attracting Bitcoin miners by the dozens as companies look to move in and take advantage of the cheap power prices and the cool temperatures. Of course, we've seen a similar story playing out in Maine, in Switzerland, in Iceland. When is the South Island of New Zealand going to get onto that? Curious. If you do want to grab yourself some Bitcoin mining goodness, you can always rock over to Hashflare. They have got the $220 terahash, which is currently the cheapest one in the business. Genesis Mining, of course, is still sold out. Bitcoin.com continues to take the piss with a $750 terahash for a 1-year contract. That compares to Hashflare's $220 terahash. Bitcoin.com, WTF, guys. And it is a $999. It's not $1,000. It's $999 for a 1 terahash for a lifetime plan. Whoa. Whoa. Chill out, Bitcoin.com. Holy cow. If you want to take the power into your own hands, get yourselves a Bitcoin miner, guys. Bitmain will be releasing a new batch of S9 miners tomorrow. About 13.5 terahash on those old beasts. Now, currently that will only mine you half a Bitcoin a year. Still a decent investment. Obviously, the amount of Bitcoin that any one machine mines is really going to keep falling over time. If prices go back up, it will make it profitable. Currently, it's still profitable, but you do have to, of course, worry a little bit about what is going to happen difficulty-wise. And, of course, I feel like it is time for a new batch of miners to be released for both Bitcoin and for Litecoin. So buyer beware, of course, for that. I still might grab a couple. Don't know. Haven't decided. Maybe I'll make a last-minute decision. 80% of the Bitcoin has been mined. Now, this is, of course, a quite amazing milestone, because that means that we have 122 years left for the last 20%. Let that sink in for a couple minutes. Now, look, the next halvening is coming up in a couple years here, so there's still, you know, time really to get some decent amounts of Bitcoin over the next couple of years mining. After that, the block reward will drop by half again. Now, 80% has been mined, and 20% to 25% has been lost forever. Assuming, of course, that, you know, Satoshi's dead and has taken his private key to the grave, unless, of course, it is Elon Musk, but that's a different story, guys. So, quite the milestone to have crossed there. It's going to be a long time before we get to the last Bitcoin, of course. The 5 stages of not owning Bitcoin grief. Guys, if you haven't got into Bitcoin yet, don't worry, there's still time. There really, really is. Don't go through the denial, anger, bargaining, depression stages. Look, you know, there has been incredible growth over the last 12 months in the whole crypto space, not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin has performed fantastically. Other coins have performed even better. It's not too late. So don't worry too much. Don't get depressed, guys. Don't get angry. Get involved. Remember, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. The days to an extent of saying, hey, I have to have 1 Bitcoin, it's not that way anymore. You know, I've done prediction videos where we talk about the price of Bitcoin in a few years, and, you know, I could see the $200,000 Bitcoin by 2020. That was my prediction, right? Other people are predicting much higher. So even if you get 0.1 Bitcoin, cool. 0.05 Bitcoin, that's also cool, right? So don't feel you have to have a whole Bitcoin. A Bitcoin is perhaps not the goal anymore, but Bitcoin, uncountable, of course, perhaps is the goal we shall be looking at. Now, speaking of some Bitcoin goodness, who is going to get $50 worth of good old Bitcoin times this week? Morgo or Manger? Ah, love your vids. Always watch your vids. No Bitcoin address, my friend. Ah, thanks for the Bitcoin lark. Just pop it in here. That is not a SegWit address, though. We're going to keep looking for one. 20 to 50% off. Oh, we're still looking for a SegWit address. Oh my goodness. SegWit. There we go. Renee, good work, my man, putting up your SegWit address. Really appreciate the weekly updates. Good way of starting the weekend. Keep it up. $50 in Bitcoin coming your way. Guys, long live the blockchain. Oh wait, if you want to be in for next week, put your Bitcoin address. Doesn't have to be a SegWit address this time. Put your Bitcoin address in below to be in to win $50 Bitcoin next week. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time, guys.